Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Wyatt, CEO of Polygon Studios. Ryan was previously the head of gaming at YouTube. Ryan, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Great, and we're glad to have you. Now, Polygon is a decentralized Ethereum scaling platform that enables developers to build scalable, user-friendly apps. Tell us more about it and what differentiates the project.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So look, I think when you're looking at what Polygon's offering is we are a really great seamless developer stack that allows people to develop blockchain apps specifically on Ethereum. So Polygon is betting that, a large amount of developers, as they enter the Web3 space and develop apps on the blockchain, that they're going to choose Ethereum. And as Ethereum gets larger, it comes with scaling difficulties from a layer 1 perspective. And so Polygon alleviates all of that and makes it really seamless to build on top of Ethereum's blockchain. So we're excited, and we kind of have continued to build out that tech stack to make it even easier.
Great, and this leads to my next question. It was recently announced that $450 million funding round was led by Sequoia Capital India with participation from more than 40 major venture capital firms. What is this round going to allow Polygon to do?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Look, we've spent about $1 billion acquiring different tech stacks that we are building on top of Polygon and making sure that we offer more tools for developers. Now we really need to scale out our business infrastructure. The growth that we've seen just in the last 12 to 18 months has been astronomical. And although we've really scaled our tech stack offering on the developer side, we have not scaled our business infrastructure up at the same speed and in parallel with that. And so on the studio side, that's really what we're going to be focusing on, bringing in some of the best talent that the big tech industry has to offer us, bringing them over into Web3, kind of like the jump that I made personally, and really scaling that up. We also want to make sure that we're investing in the ecosystem too. So we have a Polygon ecosystem fund, which we'll be deploying, also bringing developers on, incentivizing and paying them to make sure that they are feeling well supported as they build on the platform as well.
Let's talk about your move from Web2 to Web3. You previously were the head of gaming at YouTube. You oversaw a couple big deals to bring Twitch streamers to the platform. Why make this transition from Web2 to Web3?
Yeah, obviously that's something I spent a lot of time thinking about. So when I first joined almost 8 years ago at YouTube, I was the first person to kind of come on and start the gaming vertical. And at the time, if you remember, a lot of people were like, who wants to watch people play video games? Like, people want to play them themselves. And, over the course of that time, we built out the product vision, the strategy, content licensing, and partnerships team. And now gaming is the second biggest vertical on YouTube. I very much feel like I set out to do what I wanted to do when I first started at YouTube. And I looked at Web3 as a once in a generation opportunity. There's this wild, wild west of what this technology can do, what it's offering now, what the future of it can offer. And, I felt like I wanted to get my hands on that and really be one of the builders and operators in that industry. And so for me, it felt very natural to make the shift over. And I'm already seeing Web2 with a lot of enthusiasm and interest to also build on the blockchain. YouTube is hiring roles, for example, in the space. So I'm looking forward to kind of bridging the gap between the two, as well as somebody that spent a lot of time at big tech and Web2.
I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of times the narratives, especially in fintech, is us versus them, right? And to see the two of them starting to come together more only allows it to scale. So you had mentioned that this is a once in a generation opportunity. What's your outlook then on gaming and NFTs and all these newer technologies that are really shaping the next generation?
Yeah, it's funny. I think it's a really polarizing subject right now, because when you look at like gaming and NFTs in blockchain gaming and NFTs in particular, it's kind of like version 0.5. It's in its infancy right now. A lot of the applications are rudimentary at best. And why I'm excited about it is I see venture capital deploying billions across gaming. They're going to be building a lot of those games that they're investing in are blockchain-based games. Great games take a long time to make. And it's already difficult to make a high quality, high polished AAA game. When you add these like free open economies on top of it, it adds another level of difficulty to it. And so the best days are ahead of it. I'm really excited to where it's going to be 3 or 4 years out. I don't look at and survey where it's at today as what the future holds for it. So I think a mix of the capital being deployed, the talent that's moving over, that will reflect great product in the future that will get people really excited about what blockchain gaming really is, what the evolution of NFTs really are. And that's really where I'm going. I'm kind of looking at where the puck is heading and not where it's at right now.
Right. So let me ask you this. It's more of an existential question around the future. When I think of Web3, I feel more of a little bit more user control, that it's not going to be dominated by the major players that you see in Web2. Do you think that really can be the future? Because there is a lot of money coming into this segment for Web3. Do you think content creators and the users that are building these ecosystems will certainly retain some sort of control over what they're creating?
Yeah, I like to deal with it in less than absolutes. I think it's going to be a subsection of the gaming industry. It's going to be a subsection of the creator economy. It'll be a subsection of what big tech Web2 does. And I think that's great. And I look at it as like another technological offering. Not everything's going to need to be developed on blockchain, whether it's games or otherwise. But I do think this idea of decentralization is really interesting and giving power to the community, power to the users. And it is something that people desire. And we just need to show better applications and use cases of it in the future. But I do deal with it in less absolutes than a lot of the conversation happens. I think, again, it's a subsection of what the technology offering we will have for people.
All right, Ryan, great to speak with you. Thank you for the insight. And thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks, Jill.